It's time to talk about some comic books. Who are you?
Oh, I'm you from the future, here to stop you from ever making this video.
Who are you?
I'm the evil you, here to kill you and then replace you and then reveal your secret identity to the world.
But I don't have a secret identity.
Oh, well, I better rethink my plan then. You wanna go see Riddick?
Hi, I'm Jason Inman and I love to read comic books. That's why I have decided to talk about comic books' two biggest events out there right now. Forever Evil by DC Comics and X-Men Battle of the Atom, or Atom as you like to say, by Marvel Comics. I'm going to compare and contrast the two and tell you which one I think is better. But before I get into all that, don't forget to go to majorspoilers.com, the comic book website where they know that you love comic books and we do too. Now enough of this jibba jabba, let's talking about some comic books. First off, let's talk about X-Men Battle of the Atom #1. This book is pure Brian Michael Bendis, and what I mean by that is that Brian Michael Bendis, while being a great writer with some great dialogue, and he's got some really great little quips, he loves to do that little stuff where he just has people like really quick back and forth, do dialogue, yes, oh, maybe, huh, who, and his characters tend to sound the same sometimes, but that's no fault of his. Well, I guess it is a fault of his because he's a writer. Anyways, this is pure him. Why? Because the inciting incident of the whole thing doesn't happen until the last page. I'm a believer that your first issue of a giant event should give you a tease, should give you a little hint, should allow you to want to buy the rest of the issues. The problem with that is that this issue feels like it should really only be the first 10 pages. If you were to analyze the whole issue, the basic plot line is this. Kitty Pryde takes the original X-Men and they get into a situation where they have to get their butts kicked by Sentinels. They are saved by Cyclops, who shows up and saves the day by his uncanny X-Men, but he's now a terrorist, right? Sentinel almost kills Cyclops, and therefore both Cyclopses vanish out of existence, only to come back into existence, and that makes Kitty Pryde, the headmaster of the Jean Grey School of Learning, say, "Go home, old X-Men, go home." And just as they are about to send them home, a time cube opens up, and these X-Men from the future, which includes, it looks like Zorn, shows up and goes, "Hey, you are gonna make the biggest mistake of your life." And then it goes, the end. So if you were to look at that issue from just that viewpoint, it's like nothing happens. Nothing happens! Nothing! Really nothing. Characters talk, there are some excellent moments, Kitty Pryde is an awesome character, but nothing happens. It really screams like they are writing this for a trade, which is a fault of Brian Michael Bendis sometimes. But there are some great character moments. The art is fantastic. It really shows off that Art Adams, I believe Art Adams, really worked his butt off to get these pages done. And that's my thoughts on X-Men Battle of the Atom. Although I think it's still a buy it. How does it compare to other events out there in the comic book world? Let's find out. Forever Evil #1, and this book, while the other one was pure Brian Michael Bendis, this one is pure Jeff Johns. Classic continuity being retconned into new things and new ideas, a lot of actions, some scary deaths, and a shocking moment. Pure Jeff Johns. So the crime syndicate from Earth 2 is here, and then they show up at the end of Trinity War, and they supposedly killed the Justice League off panel. Now they gather up all the villains, and then they do the unthinkable. They unmask Dick Grayson to the world. And that's basically Forever Evil. Now, I get what they're trying to do here. What they're trying to do is they're trying to recreate a moment just like Final Crisis #1. If you remember that old storyline by Grant Morrison, where in the very first issue, he had Libra, this brand new villain, kill Martian Manhunter. And it was just to be like, look how bad Libra is. Libra is one bad mofo because he can kill Martian. They're trying to do the same thing here. They're trying to be like, these crime syndicates, they're so bad because they unmasked Nightwing. Now, I don't know why this random person was a hillbilly, but just go with it. The move of revealing Nightwing to the public is a shocking move. It really does work because it's something that you think would be unthinkable. But the problem with this is that this doesn't help demonstrate that the crime syndicate is any more of a bad mofo than anything else, because they did that with Lex Luthor in the first 5 pages with just a simple conversation. Lex Luthor's sitting in a helicopter, he's having a simple conversation with a Cord, and he's just like, look, I can do all this stuff to you, and I'm a bad mofo. And the guy's like, yeah, you're a bad mofo. By revealing Dick Grayson's identity, you paint the character of Nightwing into a corner for every writer ever in the future. Because one, the connection to Batman is going to exist. I don't care that Bruce Wayne has now been revealed to be a member of Batman Inc. and that he is Batman's financier. People will put it together. I don't care that Dick Grayson could be an agent of Batman Inc. and not have anything to do with Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne adopted the kid. People are going to put it together. The other thing about this is that Nightwing can't operate without a secret identity. He just can't. His villains are murderers and thieves and arsonists. They will come after his friends. They will come after his adopted father. They will come after everybody. He won't be able to sleep because they'll track him down and kill him. Nightwing's identity, Nightwing, the role of Nightwing, can no longer function. So I don't know how you fix this. And that is my biggest worry and gripe about Forever Evil, is that I think that Forever Evil #1 is already setting up what I think is going to be a retcon in its own event. I think that since they are setting up Lex Luthor to go against the crime syndicate, that we are going to have some sort of time travel fix that Lex Luthor is going to make us forget the month or the 6 months or however long the crime syndicate here is without the Justice League, which I think is a bad ending. I hope they don't go that way. They might, I don't know. Or the other idea of this is that we're going to have some sort of memory wipe. That somehow through magic mumbo jumbo or a reset of the timeline, maybe Superboy Prime coming in there and punching reality again, that everybody forgets that Dick Grayson is Nightwing. Now this event, I don't know if I could call it as good as X-Men Battle of the Atom, but I don't know if I could call it X-Men Battle of the Atom more than Forever Evil. They both have their pros, they both have their cons, they both have very good setups, but they're written completely different. But I will tell you this, I will tell you what event is way better than Forever Evil and X-Men Battle of the Atom. And that is Infinity. And this week I read Infinity #2. Now, Infinity is a Marvel event that is basically the Marvel Avengers space event, and this is an event that's completely on the other end of the spectrum than the other ones. While X-Men Battle of the Atom seems like a very personal story, Forever Evil is trying to go really big, but it's all about the villains. This one's all about the heroes, and this story is so epic when it's epicness that it feels like it might collapse in on itself, but that doesn't mean it's not still good. So basically the Earth is just getting its ass kicked. The Avengers are in space and they're getting their ass kicked, and Black Bolt met with a servant of Thanos who just told him to kill all the inhuman children. This is a very large Marvel story. It's very dramatic, its art is dynamic, although it suffers from art shifts in the middle of this issue, in the middle of the second issue. The only downside of this issue is it's so epic and there's voiceover narrations that a lot of the story feels like we are just viewing it and not actually participating in it. We're not experiencing the story with the characters throughout the story. We're just seeing characters observe other characters do stuff and they narrate stuff. And this is preceded by many scenes where you see like Thor rescue a woman and her baby, but no dialogue is said. All we hear is narration. But even with that aspect, I still enjoy Infinity a lot. It seems like it's setting up a lot of changes that are going to be felt in the Marvel Universe for a long time to come, and it feels like it actually matters. It feels dramatic, nothing feels forced, nothing feels gimmicky like Dick Grayson's Nightwing reveal, and nothing feels like, I don't feel like there's not progression, which is a very big fault of X-Men Battle of the Atom, which feels like there's no progression at all. Infinity's each chapters, issue 1 and issue 2 that are out right now, which I would say buy both of them, are great. And this is exactly how Marvel and DC should do events from now on. You should definitely buy Infinity. And that's it, folks. That's why Infinity is the best comic book event being published by Marvel and DC. As always, go to majorspoilers.com, the comic book website where they know that you love comic books, and we do too. Don't forget to leave in the comments below what you want me to review next week. Do you like these different type of videos, or do you want me to go back where it's just going through all the DC titles and going through all the Marvel titles and talking in accents like this? Do you want me to go back to that? Maybe I will next week. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Last week's comic book contest winner was Kokori Games. Congratulations and thank you for sharing this video. As always, like, favorite, and subscribe. Comment below. Say hi to me on Twitter, and I will be seeing you. And I'm Jason Inman.
Not like you should be scared for your life or anything.
You could be like training me right now that I could beat Two-Face.
Let's just wing it. Let's get you some food at the Wendy's.
Of course, Batman.
Guess I should record a comic book video this week. This far, no further. We are canceling the apocalypse. That was a f***ing horrible English accent. I'm sorry.